Oh, great. Y'all know what it is, your boy Elioh.c, and welcome back. Today I got a very special video for y'all, right? Something spicy. This is my first ever deck profile for first place at a locals. Man, this is crazy, man. I would never expect to be first place at any locals. But yeah, I did top locals. It was a very small locals with some of my friends. We did have a good time. My three matchups were against Infernoble, Sword Soul, and Tier Limits. So I 2-0'd all of my opponents. Deck profile is a Infernoble Knight pure deck profile. This ain't got the Sinful Spoils package. If you have access to it, play it. But me personally, I want to try other different routes, and this happened to work out. But yeah, if y'all are excited for this, make sure to show some love, like, subscribe, and share. And let me know down below, man. Let me know down below, what card is your favorite card? Which card looks the prettiest to you? If y'all let me know that, I would really appreciate it. Roll to 100 subs. And yeah, I'm so excited for this. Let's get to it, y'all. Okay, let's get to it. So I'm running 3 Neo Space connectors. Right there. It's pretty standard. Most Infernoble decks play 3 connectors just because it's so good at searching your 1-card combo. And yeah, just this card alone, you get a full board. So that's the reason why I run the 1 connector, and then I run the 1 dolphin, obviously. Just because hand knowledge is very important in the game right now, and to be able to put my opponent at a disadvantage is always a great thing. They might ban this card. Even if they do, I do have an alternative to it. So yeah, that's the first 3 cards. I'm running 2 OGers for the pure package, just because it's the second best normal summon in the deck. It lets you dump your resources into the graveyard, and it's just really helpful on those plays where you need to extend. You could dump Turpin and some certain cards to extend your play. So yeah, it's super cool. And my fault about the moving is because I don't have a tripod, so bear with me. I'm sorry about that, y'all. I'm running 2 Olivers. A lot of people are very skeptical on running 2. I run 2 for the pure build just because it's a very good extender, and it's a very good card to have on the board without having to have another monster on the board. Just having to discard a card and to special summon him is super reliable for when they mess up your plays. And then you can still go to full combo. So that's my reason for it. You could run whatever you want, but yeah, I run 2. I'm also running 1 of each of the other Infernoble Knights. So that's gonna be 1 Turpin, 1 Richard, 1 Magus, and 1 Renaud. A lot of people should say to run 2. I honestly think that it's up to your personal preference, but I only run 1 just because I run the 2 Olivers. In my opinion, I think it's a little bit better, just because you don't need a body on the board to extend. So that's super cool. But the only good thing about him is that you do get resources back to your hand, which is very reliable in some cases, in case you need to like play through certain things or just bait stuff out. You still have them out there as a body, which is super cool. This one recycles your cards back. This one extends your plays to go into Angelica. And then this guy's just busted, bro. He becomes an equip card, and then when you equip it to a monster, that monster becomes a tuner. So that really helps you out if, let's say, you only have him on the board and he wasn't special summoned by his effect. You can make the card into a tuner, maybe a level 4, or the connector as a level 4. And yeah, you can still go with your plays, which is super cool. So yeah, but that's the reason why I run 1 of those. In the Fenrir package, just because the Fenrir package is very reliable. And it really helps you out with like extending your plays, and also baits out a lot of like hand traps, and then you just go into your Neo Space connector. So yeah, this card is super good. And then with this card as well, you banish the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck face down, which is, to me, is a plus, because then if worst comes to worst, you know, you took out their 1 of cards. It's super helpful. So yeah, that's the reason why I won. Oh, and then also, he's also a warrior as well. Fire warrior. I'm not sure you guys can see that. Fire warrior as well. So yeah, that's that's super clutch for when you want to extend your play. So, but that's the reason why I run only two, is because I run two super quantum red layers. So this card, I was very skeptical at first. I didn't really play it in the beginning, but then I did some tests with the pure build, and I was like, wow, this card is very, very reliable, and it comes through when things don't really go your way, or you have a really brick hand. He really helps you get into your plays, and he's also like a Fenrir as well. If he gets off the field and you have a second one in your hand, you could special summon the other one and do it all over again. So yeah, this card is awesome. For the other extenders, I'm running one Phoenix Gearfried and one Fireflame Lady. A lot of people hate playing against this card just because it does a lot of damage. It's a big 3000 hitter, and he's really easy to get on the board. And the Fireflame Lady, most people don't really know about her second effect. Is if you tribute her, you can special summon level 4 warrior monster from your hand. So like, let's say you want to go into like more extensions with your plays, and you have a tuner in your hand, and then you could dump it out for a tuner that you have in your hand. So that's super cool. But yeah, one of each. I'm playing 3 Noble Arms Museum. I don't have to explain a lot about this card. Great addition to the Infernoble Knights. So yeah, this card is super helpful. I don't think it needs any explanation. It's very broken. Running 3 Heritage of the Chalice. This card also is super busted. Lets me search any of my cards from my deck to my hand. So this is a good card to basically make 6 copies of the museum, and any other card that I have 3 of, this card really helps. So, and then I'm running 1 Horseman of the Army, just because you can only play 1. And I understand why you can only play 1 is because this card is busted if it's at multiples. So yeah, this lets me search my 1 card combo. Sick card. The equip spells, I'm running 1 Angelica's Ring, 1 All Mace, 1 Durandal, 1 Joyous, 1 Phoenix Blade, 1 Different Dimension Reincarnation. These cards are awesome. All of them are good. I wouldn't recommend you drawing them in your hand just because they're bricks. Maybe the Durandal might not be the brick, or the All Mace, but the rest of them, they're not really useful for extending your plays or anything like that when you first have an opening hand. So preferably just draw them. But even if they're in your hand, you have the Oliver to dump them into the graveyard and just recycle resources whenever you need them. But yeah, I recommend only running 6 of the equip spells, just because if you run more, you tend to clump up your hand with a lot of equip spells, and that's not good. You want to try to find your resources as much as you can. So yeah. For the tech cards, I'm running 2 Triple Tactics Talent. This card is awesome. It helped me win a game against Sword Soul. It helped me take control of their big boss monster and then just ram them with the rest of my other cards. Poor choice of words, but yeah. I OTK'd him with this card, and this card is amazing. 3 Infinite Impermanence. I'm sorry about that. I'm running 3 Infinite Impermanence. You know, standard, basic. Infinite Impermanence is busted. Great card for any deck in the format right now. And then I'm running 3 Ash, Blossom, and Joyous Spring. I think 3 is pretty cool. I only run 6 hand traps. A lot of people run 9 or 12. But I think 6 is pretty solid, just because you want to go through full engine. So having to like rely on like your hand traps. Maybe run more during game 2s if you lose the first one, or if you win the first one. It's always good to have more hand traps in those games. But for like your starting hand, I think it's pretty good just having 6. It worked really well for me. So yeah. And for my extra deck, I'm running the King Dempsey package. A lot of people like the Artorigas. Some people are very indifferent. For me personally, I think that running just 1 Battle in Box for King Dempsey is great. He does everything on the moment. And he's also a Fire Warrior, which really helps you extend your plays in case you like need a Fire Warrior on the field. He's super good to have. So yeah. 1 Emperor Charles. A lot of people run 2. I only run 1 just because I only go all to 1. And then he's always good to come back. I can always bring him back in different ways. So yeah, 1 Angelica. Angelica's busted. Great card. Great addition. There was a game against a Sword Soul deck I played, and I forgot about her target effect where I could like tag her out, and then I just let his imperm just go through, and that was my fault. So I kind of threw that one, but then I still got the win. So yeah, Angelica's a great card. And I'm running one Captain Roland just because it helps you tag into him. Then he helps you extend your plays. He is a 5-star tuner, so he's super awesome for when you want to go into the Emperor Charles. Yeah, it's just a great card. And I have one Baron the Floor. Baron the Floor, I tend to always go to him during my end boards. He's really easy to access, and he's a great card. He's a big problem. And then the reprint of him really helped me bling him out. One Baron the Floor, awesome card. Great boss monster. And then I run two Isoldes. This card, they say it might get hit on the ban list. I kind of agree just because it's busted. If you go through the first effect, you can still activate the second effect, which is super cool. So yeah, and even if they imperm or ash the second effect, you still have resources in your hand to like discard and like just use that card that you added to your hand to like maybe use as like a cost for something that you need in the deck. So yeah, super cool. I am running two, sorry about that, running two Emperor Charles the Great. Standard, two is always the way to go. I think that if you run less than two, it might not make sense just because you always end off on two. So yeah, boss monster, great card. In one Goki, one Ferocious Flame Swordsman, one Raw 10. These guys are super awesome. I would probably change them up though for when I update the deck. Maybe not Raw 10. Raw 10 is super good. A lot of people don't like to run him. I think he's super awesome. He helped me win a game against Sword Soul. I know I keep saying Sword Soul. It's because I gave him the work. Now I'm just playing. But yeah, he helped me OTK. He helped me pop a card on their field during the battle phase, and people forget about that. So yeah, super awesome. He lets me recycle my resources when he's off the field or destroyed. This guy just pops all the cards on the field. He's unaffected by card effects. So yeah, those were my choices, and that's the reason why. And I have one Axis Code Talker, one Appaloosa, and one SP Little Knight. Luckily, I pulled out SP during my sneak peek packs. If you guys didn't see that video, make sure to watch it on my channel. I didn't really use it as much, if I'm being completely honest. I only used it for like when I have an end board where I can use her. I should probably use her more often though, but either way, even though I didn't use her, I still won my game, so that was super cool. Appaloosa's clutch, you know, for those monster effect heavy decks, especially like the tournament deck. I ended off on Appaloosa, which was super nice. They couldn't really do anything. They had to scoop. And Access Code Talker was good. I didn't really go to him as much. I might replace him, maybe, but yeah, it's always good to have a card like that whenever you want to like OTK certain people or certain like boards. It's always good to just break boards with it. So yeah, it's a very good boss monster in this deck. So to the extra deck, I'm running two Lightning Storms and one Harpies. These are just for back row heavy decks. I might change out these two for maybe Cosmic Cyclones just because they activate on the opponent's turn. And if they make you go first and you have a Cosmic Cyclone in your hand, it won't really be a brick in your hand. So yeah, I never really used this card. I never really drew into it. So yeah, it wasn't really that big of a help, but I still think it should always be good in your deck in case you run into a deck that does rely on like Spell and Trap or just flooding monsters on the field. This is a good board breaker. Ooh, Nibiru, the Primal Being. This card is really good against combo decks, especially my deck against the Mirror Match. You just drop down this rock and it gets really hard for them to go full combo, or just like during the end board, they're gonna have to exhaust some stuff. And you have full gas too, so they're gonna have to play through all of your stuff. So yeah, this makes the Mirror Match or any combo deck just less stressful. And I'm running 3 DD Crows against the tournaments. This card was super good. It really helped me out with going through their board, and also not letting them combo off their chains since it's non-target. So yeah, it's a super cool card. I I plan on keeping this card for a while. So yeah, DD Crow is awesome. Remove from play a lot of stuff. And I'm running 3 Droll and Lockbird. This card, I didn't really use it against any of my matchups just because a lot of decks are starting to adapt to like not adding to their hands but just special summoning from the deck, which I think is pretty smart, and it's making me reconsider. But it's always good to have this card against like combo heavy deck. This card is just super good against decks that add to their hands. So yeah, it's always good to have the card. I wouldn't really cut this card out at all, but I just never really used it as much for its use. So yeah, I'm running 2 Book of Eclipse. This card is, I think, awesome. It's super cool just because I end off on a board with a lot of link monsters. So like once I exhaust the other monsters I have on the field, I could just Book of Eclipse and then they pretty much don't have anything. And this is good for decks that want to rely on a bunch of their monsters like Unchained. They need like a target and they can't really tribute their target. I think it's really cool to just have the Book of Eclipse. So yeah, 2 Book of Eclipse. And then I have Crossout Designator. This is the reason why I run a bunch of like 2-ofs. Just because Crossout Designator is clutch for that game 3. This card actually helped me win the game 3 against Tier Limit. Just because they tried to hand trap me and then I popped this baby open and they couldn't really do anything. I still went full combo and they had to scoop. So yeah, this card is sick. It comes by surprise. But yeah, that's the deck profile, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I never really do stuff like this. I'm just very happy, and I hope that I can do more deck profiles like this and maybe other featured deck profiles. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Show some love, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.